What's up, y'all? My name is Ray. If you're here for the first time, welcome. And to my returning viewers, I am humbled to welcome you back for another video. Today, my friends, we're doing something different on the channel because I've decided I'd like to embark on a little journey to learn more about Indian history and culture, and I'd like to share that experience with you. So I created a poll on the channel with a few video options I thought might be good places to start. And the video that won the poll is titled Hinduism Explained from the YouTube channel Cogito, and I'm really excited to check it out. Now, a quick disclaimer, of course, I do understand that not all Indians practice Hinduism, but it is something like 80%, and I do know that Hinduism in general is very closely interwoven with Indian culture as a whole. So I do think it's going to be a great place to start. I'm really excited to check it out. And guys, if you enjoy hanging out today, please leave a like on this video and drop a comment below. It really makes my day. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We're going for 15K. Also, I have a Patreon and YouTube memberships if you want to go above and beyond to support the channel and get access to full-length movie and TV reactions and have your name in my videos, that kind of thing. And with all that said, let's check out Hinduism Explained from Cogito.
Hinduism, the religion of over 1 billion people, is the world's oldest religion and probably the most confusing one to non-Hindus. Some say it isn't even a religion, more a way of life. Hindus themselves.
Interesting. I'm going to pause it right there real quick because I just learned something and had something reiterated to me that I had heard before. First of all, I knew Hinduism was very old, of course. You know, I was familiar with that fact. I did not know it was the world's oldest religion. That's really cool. Also had it reiterated to me that I've heard that some people refer to it as a way of life. Like you can be Hindu without really converting to Hinduism. You just start practicing it. It's almost a way of life. That being said, that's all I've heard. Like it's very surface level kind of stuff. So, that's just really interesting. Let's keep going.
The eternal tradition. So, what is Hinduism? Does YOLO apply to them? And who is this elephant guy? Well, let's find out.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be nice and, curiosity visualized, nice and visualized for me.
Active religion. It's the result of the merging of the ancient Indus Valley civilization and the nomads that came into India around 1500 BC. Some scholars say it could even go back many more thousands of years. We won't delve too deep into dates, because dates in Hinduism are very, very controversial. But one thing is certain.
Okay.
Hinduism is old. Like, at least 36 Betty Whites. Hinduism has been around for so long that it and the concept of India itself are inseparable. Hindu and Indian come from the same word. Sanskrit was the ancient language of the Hindus.
I feel like I'm sorry for pausing. You know, this is going to be a little tricky for me. Normally I do movie reactions where you just kind of like try to find the gaps to speak, but I expect this to be really loaded with information where if I want to share any thoughts, I'm going to have to pause it. I like that he said Hinduism and India are inseparable topics because that's kind of what we're doing here. I wanted to learn more about India and this, you all chose this as a good place to start. India and Hindu coming from the same word is very cool. And I've heard of the Indus Valley civilization, and I know that there are some debate about what happened to them, I believe, and how it ended. I don't know. Really interesting. Let's keep going. Let me rewind, actually. There we go.
Hindu and India even come from the same word. Sanskrit was the ancient language of the Hindus, and the Sanskrit name for the Indus River is Sindhu. The ancient Persians who sat across the Indus tended to switch their S's to H's, so Sindhu became Hindu. So the people living across the river became Hindus. The Persians told the Greeks, who dropped that very not Greek-like H, stuck in a very Greek-like E to the end, and boom, India.
Wow.
Hinduism has a long, long history.
That's awesome.
But today we'll be focusing on just the core beliefs of Hindus because I don't have the willpower to animate a 3-hour-long video.
Fair enough.
Hindus are a diverse group. Some are strict, dedicating their lives to prayer, while others don't believe in any gods but still follow Hindu philosophy. To make things easier to understand, let's break Hinduism down into 7 core beliefs. So, here's my rap about the 7 Hindu beliefs.
You promised you weren't gonna do the rap. Come on, you're better than this, man.
Fine. Here's
Oh,
the
thank God.
regular version.
I was really worried.
Belief in one universal soul.
That was good. That was
Hindus
good.
believe in a universal soul known as Brahman, a formless, genderless source of all reality. Brahman is the universe and the material that makes up the universe. It's a trippy concept, but
That is
think
trippy.
of Brahman as an ocean and everything else as drops propelling out of that ocean. Separate for a time, but still the same thing, if that makes sense.
Wow. Yeah,
2.
it does.
Belief in an immortal individual soul. In Hinduism, souls are known as Atman. Actions of the
Atman.
soul while in a body have effects on that soul's next life. When you die, your soul moves to another new body. This is called transmigration. The kind of body the soul inhabits next is determined by karma. 3.
Okay.
Belief
Yep.
in karma. Karma is action, usually good or bad actions that affect society. For Hindus, karmic actions in the past affect us today, and our actions today affect our soul's future. 4.
Okay.
Belief in
Yep.
moksha. The goal in Hindu life is to somehow get back to Brahman. If a Hindu can do this, they will be freed from the cycle of life and death. This is called moksha. You can achieve moksha by realizing your oneness with Brahman. How you realize this is up to you. For this reason, Hindus pray, "Lead me from the unreal to the real." 5.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it. It's going really fast in a good way. I'm able to absorb it, but it's happening so quickly that I want to go ahead and pause and just remark on a couple of the things that I didn't know there. So I did not know that the individual soul was called Atman. That's really cool. I was not familiar with the concept of Brahman, not at all, really. I just straight up didn't know that. That's very interesting that they consider Brahman to be, what did they say? Formless, genderless essence, that is everything while simultaneously being this nebulous concept. It also makes up everything in the world. It is the universe and everything in the universe. Very cool. I did not realize that the cycle of reincarnation or transmigration had an end game. I didn't realize that you were trying to up your karma and keep it so high that eventually you reach Brahman and ascend past future reincarnations. You ascend out of your Atman, or maybe your Atman comes with you. I don't know. Really interesting stuff. Let me rewind it a minute. Lead me from the unreal to the real. Cool.
Lead me from the unreal to the real. 5. Belief in the Vedas. The Vedas are Hindu sacred books of knowledge. There are 4 Vedas. Hindus believe that all 4 were divinely revealed to ancient Hindu sages. We'll take a closer look at the Vedas in a while.
Okay.
6. Belief in cyclical time. For Hindus, there are no beginnings or endings. Time is a series of cycles, each cycle containing 4 ages or yugas. There's the Krita, the Treta, the Dwapara, and the Kali. Added together, the 4 yugas total about 4.32 million years. At the end of each cycle, declining human morality leads to the total destruction of reality. Hindus believe that we are in the 4th and final yug, Kali. 7. Belief in
Holy
Dharma.
shit.
Dharma is a difficult word to translate to English. Proper behavior is the best that I could come up with. Dharma maintains balance in the universe. As long as everything in the universe, like animals, plants, and humans, follow their Dharma, then everything will be fine. If they break from the Dharma, though, things will be super not fine. Each being has its own Dharma. A lion's Dharma is to kill and eat antelope. A king's Dharma is to rule well. A subscriber's Dharma is to smash the like button and ring the notification bell. For humans, their specific Dharma is usually based on their age and their caste. An old priest will have a very different Dharma than a young merchant, for example. So those are the 7 core beliefs of Hinduism.
Okay, great.
You can understand
that was really
the
great
mindset. Unlike Christianity or Islam, Hinduism is a non-profit organization. There is no Jesus or Muhammad for Hindus. There is no Bible, Quran, or Torah. Instead, they have a bunch, and I mean a bunch, of different sacred texts. The 4 Vedas form the basis of the Hindu faith. So let's take a look at them. 1. The Rig Veda. The Rig Veda is a collection of songs that praise and discuss ideas like truth, reality, and the universe, along with discussions on war, weddings, and rituals. 2. The Yajurveda. The Yajurveda covers stuff such as sacrificial rites and rituals. 3. The Samaveda. Sama literally means sweet song that destroys sorrow. It is mostly songs dedicated to praising gods. It's different than the rest of the Vedas because it's set to music. 4. The Atharva Veda. The Atharva Veda is my favorite one. Do you want to curse your enemies? Or charm that special someone? Maybe learn to invoke rain? Or discover herbal medicine along with tips on warfare? Like how to make poison arrows? Well, this Veda has you covered, along with a bunch of other charms and curses. It even has a curse against cursers. Avoid us, O curse, as a burning fire avoids a lake. Strike him here that curses us, as the lightning of heaven, the tree. A link to the Atharvaveda is in
Curse the cursors.
just in case you need a spell to get a wife or another to banish pigeons from your presence. It's great. After the Vedas come the Upanishads, which are like a sequel that makes the original make much more sense. They were probably written down between 800 BC.
I'm gonna pause it because I want to rewind that just a minute. Sorry again. I'm probably gonna say sorry a few more times, but I want to rewind it just to catch where we're going after the Vedas because my mind is still on the Vedas there. So we've got 4 Vedas. I want to look up in the description. He said there's a link in the description to the Atharva Veda. I probably just butchered that, but I want to take a closer look at that. It sounds fascinating. Also, the one with the songs, I'd be really interested to hear some of the songs or chants or whatever that are most popular or, find the most meaning to you. Let me know in the comments if there's am I even asking that question appropriately? I don't know how to ask that. Are there particular songs that you enjoy or that you find are particularly valuable to you? I would be really interested in learning more about that. Let me rewind a minute and grab a drink.
Come the Upanishads, which are
Upanishads.
That
That's
makes
what I
the
needed.
original make much more sense.
Upanishad.
They were probably written down between 800 BC and 500 BC, during a time when some Hindus started to question the Vedas. Their ideas became the Upanishads. The Upanishads are books on philosophy, like we would expect from Plato or Aristotle. They're all about questioning, doubt, debate, and finding the answers to life's difficult questions. A theme in the Upanishads is that people are not their minds, or bodies, or egos, but their Atman. Your soul is you. Everything else is unreal and temporary. After the holy texts like the Vedas and the Upanishads are other less divine but still important texts. These include stuff like the Puranas, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. The Puranas are like encyclopedias of Hindu beliefs. There are 18 well-known Puranas. The Puranas cover things from yoga, to army organization, to taxation, to the caste system, to hell, gods, and everything in between. The Bhagavad Gita, Gita for short, is one of Hinduism's most important texts.
This is just
Gita
fascinating. Fascinating.
Where Arjuna, a great warrior, refuses to fight. Lord Krishna steps in to urge Arjuna to fight, and their discussion covers things such as dharma and how to live your best life. Arjuna eventually fought after Lord Krishna taught him the truth about dharma. As a member of the warrior caste, Arjuna's dharma was to fight against evil. The lesson of the Gita is that everyone faces difficult choices, but they must act on them according to their dharma, no matter how unpleasant. Along with all these philosophical texts, Hinduism has 2 action-packed epics, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. The Ramayana, the earlier of the 2 texts, tells the story of Prince Rama. In the epic, you find out about his 14-year-long exile, the abduction of his wife Sita, his battle with the evil demon Ravana.
Whoa, wait a second. Whoa. Hold on. Let me rewind that just a minute. Let me catch that again. Ramayana? Is that Ram from RRR? Because the story of Prince Rama, and then mentions his wife Sita from RRR. Is that what this is from? Is that what RRR is from? Obviously, And let me rewind it, and I just want to catch that again. That's really fascinating. I'm not going to drone on about that because it's probably not the case, and I'm making myself sound like an idiot. But I just found that really interesting. Gosh, there's so much here. This is so information rich, and it has to be. It's such a vast topic. I'm really loving this. I'll watch this again. I'll absolutely watch this again. I'm going to show my wife, probably show some friends. This is a really cool resource for folks like me who are just wildly uneducated about Hinduism in general. Cool.
To their dharma, no matter how unpleasant. Along with all these philosophical texts, Hinduism has two action-packed epics, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. The Ramayana, the earlier of the two texts, tells the story of Prince Rama. In the epic, you find out about his 14-year-long exile, the abduction of his wife Sita, his battle with the evil demon Ravana, and his awesome monkey sidekick Hanuman.
Cool.
The second epic, the Mahabharata, is the longest poem in the world. 5 times the length of the Bible and 8 times the length
Holy
of the Iliad
smokes.
and Odyssey combined.
Are you
Rivals
serious?
Any soap opera you've ever seen when it comes to drama. Murder, betrayal, love murder, and giant battles. The Mahabharata has it all. The theme running through the Ramayana and the Mahabharata is that dharma must be followed for society to function.
Okay.
In Hinduism, there are 4 goals a person should aim for to have a good life.
Okay.
The
What
first
do we got?
of these is dharma, followed by artha, the pursuit of prosperity and good reputation, kama, pleasure both in body and in mind, and moksha, the release from the cycles of rebirth.
Moksha.
Hindus should practice artha and kama with dharma in order to achieve moksha. There are also 6 temptations Hindus should try and avoid. Kama, lust and materialism. This kama is different from the kama mentioned above.
Okay.
I know. Next is kruda, which is anger. Lobha, which is greed. Moha, which is unrealistic attachment to things, people, and power.
Ooh.
Mada, which is pride. And matsarya, which is jealousy. By following their dharma and avoiding these 6 temptations, a Hindu can break the cycle of rebirth and have their soul merge back into Brahman. But even though everything comes from Brahman is the one real thing in Hinduism, Hindus do, after all, have thousands of gods. So let's take a look at them. First,
pausing real quick before we get into... Oh, we're getting into Brahma. Okay. All right, that was going to be my question. They refer to Brahma as who? Like as a being, an individual being, but they also refer to it as the universe and everything in it. So I'm trying to reconcile those disparate thoughts for me. But it sounds like that's what he's about to do. I probably should just shut up and let him do his thing here. Let me back up there and let's go.
Thousands of gods. So let's take a look at them. First, there's Brahma, the creator. He created everything in the universe, but he is not the universe itself, because that's Brahman. They aren't the same thing. That last letter changes a lot, apparently.
Thank you.
He has 4 heads. The heads face each of the 4 directions to represent the 4 Vedas, which he created, and the 4 yugs. He also holds a book, which represents knowledge. Oh, and he rides a giant swan because he's just fancy. His consort is Saraswati, the goddess of learning. Vishnu, the preserver, is the second member of the Hindu trinity. He preserves the world created by Brahma until it is eventually destroyed by Shiva. He holds a discus, which he uses to cut down anyone that tries to mess with his dharma, along with a conch, which symbolizes victory and the 5 elements. Vishnu has many, many avatars, such as Krishna or Rama, who he uses to defend dharma on earth.
Avatars.
And he rides a giant eagle named Garuda. Cool. Vishnu has 2 consorts, the goddess Lakshmi and Bhudevi. Bhudevi is the earth goddess and Lakshmi is the goddess of good fortune and wealth. Next is Shiva the Destroyer, the 3rd member of the Hindu trinity. It's his job to destroy the universe in order to prepare for its renewal at the end of each cycle of time. The most identifiable of his features is his 3rd eye, which he almost always keeps closed. If he does open it and you're in front of him, then you will have your face melted off. When not unmaking existence, Shiva enjoys long walks with his bull named Nandi.
Wow. Okay.
At the end of the Kali Yuga, the 4th age of the world,
which
Shiva
we're
will
in,
perform a dance that destroys the universe. Which is odd because people have told me that my dance moves make them wish the world would end. So me and Shiva have quite a lot in common. Parvati and Sati are Shiva's consorts. Shiva also has 2 sons, Ganesha and Murugan. Ganesha is worshipped as the remover of obstacles, and Murugan is the god of war. Ganesha holds a very special place in the heart of Hindus, due to him being the remover of obstacles. The elephant head is the most obvious clue to identifying him. He was actually born with a human head, but after Shiva cut that one off, he kind of had to make do with an elephant one.
Oh.
If you're Christian or Muslim, you're aware that your religion has a bunch of different denominations, like Catholics or Protestants, Sunni and Shia. Hinduism has these too. Hindus developed 4 major denominations, some of which have their own subdivisions. The Vaishnavas primarily worship Vishnu, and Shaivas primarily worship Shiva and his sons. Smartas follow sacred texts like the Puranas, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata rather than the Vedas. They worship 5 gods and goddesses, Ganesha, Durga, Surya, Shiva, and a preferred avatar of Vishnu. Finally, Shaktas worship the goddess Devi. Shaktas see Devi as the ultimate and eternal reality, like a feminine Brahman. Even though there are all these variations and more, the core beliefs of Hindus remain mostly the same. Hindus believe that Dharma keeps the balance in the universe. If the scales between good and evil start tipping towards evil, then something needs to intervene to fix the universe's Dharma. This divine intervention is known as an avatar. The literal meaning of the word avatar is descent. Avatars are gods that descend to Earth to intervene whenever help is needed to restore Dharma. For example,
like Prince Rama.
When the Earth was dragged underneath the ocean, Vishnu descended to Earth as the avatar Varaha, a boar, and dragged the Earth back out. In other cases, Vishnu was born on Earth as a human avatar like Rama or Krishna. Where he spent his avatar's life fixing Dharma. So, the caste system. If you only know one thing about Hinduism, this is probably it. People see it as an oppressive system that locks people in place based on their birth. And for a huge part of history, that's what it's been, unfortunately. Let's do a quick explanation of what the caste system is. In Hinduism, there are 4 castes or classes that you can be born into. There's the Brahmin, the priest, the Kshatriyas, the warriors, the Vaishyas, the traders, and the Shudras, the manual laborers. The main basis for the caste system can be found in the Bhagavad Gita and the Rig Veda. Krishna says in the Gita, "I have created a 4-fold system in order to distinguish among one's qualities and functions." The Rig Veda also refers to the 4 castes. It says humans were created from parts of the god Purusha, the Brahmin from his face, the Kshatriya from his arms, the Vaishya his thighs, and the Shudra his feet. This system is supposed to assign people functions based on their abilities, not their birth. If someone had the qualities of a Brahmin or a Vaishya, they could fill those roles.
Interesting.
The Gita didn't restrict movement among castes, and the caste system functioned as intended for a while, until a document known as the Laws of Manu came about around the 5th century BC, popularly referred to as the Manu Smriti. They created hard rules for Hindu life. 2 rules presented in it contributed to the way the caste system turned out. Manu states that the Brahmin were the lords of all castes, and he forbid moving among the castes.
There's
the caste you were born into was now the caste you're stuck in. If you give humans a hierarchy, they'll exploit it, and things will go sour pretty quickly. As time passed, Hindus began thinking in terms of upper and lower castes. Soon, cleaning toilets, tanning leather, and dealing with meat products were thought to be impure. The people doing those jobs became untouchables, the lowest of the low, a people without caste. And the rest is history. The modern world has brought many changes though. Now Hindus mix freely while working together in the same businesses, attending the same schools, and generally just living together. But when it comes to marriage, many Hindus still stick to their own caste. But this too is changing, and on Hindu dating websites you can actually see people list a non-preference for caste. It'll say, caste no bar. So, those are the basics of Hinduism. It isn't even close.
Oh, are we almost done?
Everything.
Oh my gosh,
One video simply can't do it. Hinduism is too diverse, too deep, and means too many different things to different people. But learning even the basics of this fascinating and ancient religion gives us an insight into the worldview of over 1 billion people. And I hope you enjoyed it. You can find all the sources used in the description below. If you would like to follow your correct Dharma, then please subscribe. If you're interested in supporting the channel, there are links to my t-shirt store and Patreon also in the description.
All right, there we go. I wanted to give him the chance to go ahead and finish his little thing there because he deserves it. That's an awesome channel. That was an awesome video. Wow. Wow. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that. I feel like I learned a lot. I feel like it's a video I will benefit from watching again, to be sure. I thoroughly enjoyed learning about Dharma. That was really something I didn't understand. I didn't understand, I guess, what I assumed. No, I didn't really have an understanding of Dharma really at all. I think most Westerners have some basic understanding of karma and the idea of reincarnation, but I also did not know that there was an ultimate goal, trying to achieve moksha. I thought that was really interesting. Learning about the gods was less complicated than I thought, although I'll have to watch it again to get the names correct. But the avatar system makes more sense than I thought. It really... This was a good video to start me down a path to understanding, right? Obviously 20 minutes for a, thousands and thousands of years old religion, certainly can't do it justice to any, real extent, but, I do feel already a little bit more confident. Really interesting to learn about the caste system and that the caste system isn't as opposed to mobility as it used to be. I did kind of assume, maybe not assume, but I did kind of understand that to be the case in modern India, as it just doesn't strike me as there being that rigid of a caste system. For instance, when I watched the show Mirzapur, they make a few different references to the Brahmins. Did I just butcher that name? Brahims? I'm sorry. To the highest caste and the lower caste and mixing between them. And you can see that the younger generations don't ascribe to it the same way the older ones do. This was obviously just kind of throwaway stuff in Mirzapur off to the side. I can't take it as indicative of anything for sure, but it did kind of lead me to that belief, and then to have it, reiterated through this video was really cool. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I would not be opposed to doing another Hinduism video. If you guys, maybe a particular god or a particular Veda or something like that, or a particular avatar story, one of the epics, if there's a condensed version that maybe we could watch together on the channel, please leave, some suggestions for future stuff. I'm really open to learning. I'm coming at this, hopefully you can, you believe me that I'm coming at this with a very open mind. I'm not religious myself, so I don't have a dog in the race, so to speak, when it comes to discussing things like religion. But, I'm a big history guy, right? A lot of us would say we're like history guys or history girls. And, so understanding culture and the historic significances of things like religion and spirituality throughout the world is really something that I just find fascinating. So, keep in mind, I'm coming at it with an open mind. I hope you will too. Please don't leave anything, I know religion, right? I don't even need to say it, right? We all know religion, politics, it can get a little dicey. So just keep it civil in the comments. Remember that we're here to learn. We're not here to critique. Religion of all kinds in the hands of the wrong kind of people can be twisted into, nefarious acts or nefarious purposes. So we're just here to learn in good faith about a religion that over 1 billion people, 1 billion, really good, honest, normal, everyday people, right? Just on the other side of the world from me. This is how they live their daily lives. And this is the kind of thing that inspires them to love their families and to do good works in their community and to get a good job and to take care of their friends and all those beautiful things that come out of religion, come out of faith. So that's what we're here to learn. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today. I really had a good time. Thank you to my patrons. Thank you to my channel members. You guys are making this possible. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what to watch next. Thank you all for being here. I hope I see you all again soon. Peace out.